starting this off stating that the One Piece is a pin and Emu is a Kraken theories are more live than ever right now. I mean, it's honestly getting more solid with every single chapter. Did you see how Rox's wings were dripping with ink? I'm dying on this hill. This is my Morge raid will fail theory, okay? I'm dying on this hill. Sorry about that. Planting the flag. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, shit's really hitting the fan, isn't it, guys? Emu is completely triggered from this conversation, and Rox is just chatting along, just doing his own thing. Now, let's look at this for a second. I'm sure by now, if you're clicking on this video, you've heard of the Domioversi home theory. And if you haven't, just let me educate you for a second, okay? So far, the Giants and Rox are present in their homelands when they got Domioversi'd. And if you didn't know, God Valley is Rox's homeland. Elbaf was invaded and the Giants were subdued, but Rox was lured to his hometown with the use of his wife and child. Maybe because this was the only place where he could be Domioversi'd. Coupled with the knowledge that Domioversi in Latin means I returned home, the home theory was born. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the theory, but it does have some merit, so all we can really do is wait and see, so that's what I'm gonna do. But I would like to point out that if you go back to chapter 1154, I believe it is, Emu is talking to Rox very, very casually in the flower chamber. It's not like Rox broke in. The panel before, it says that 5 kings were kidnapped, and Emu says, you can't use those sovereigns to extort me. And Rox basically says, yeah, but I made a mess, didn't I? Now, if Emu could use Domioversi on him, then it would have been done at that moment. But for some reason, it was done on God Valley. Is it because that's Rox's home? Or is it because Domioversi can only be used when Emu is possessing someone else? On Elbaf, he used Junko. On God Valley, he used Saturn. But in the flower chamber, Junko was very normal and wouldn't act without the word of Emu. So just think about that moving forward. Nonetheless, Rox is being consumed by evil and the others are just as dumbfounded as we are. And it's starting to look like the Domioversi might turn those who are hit with it into ancient giants, seeing as Rox is beginning to look a lot more like Ors right now. Well, Ors with giant dragon wings. Call it what you want. Some are saying bat wings, but I claim that to be a Stussy thing, unless Vegapunk actually used some of Emu's blood in that project. But that's a rabbit hole I'm honestly not willing to go down at this moment. Hey fam, just wanted to ask for some help. The wife actually said I can get some booty again if one of these videos hits 30,000 views or 500 likes, or I wind up getting 1,000 subscribers. So if you could give me that HBO special and help brother out, I would love you unconditionally, all right? Your boy's a little thirsty, all right? Please, help me, please. Please! And speaking of rabbits, Persona is shown in the cover page chasing a white rabbit. And I always love the Alice in Wonderland references we get on the cover pages. Whenever I see something like this, I tend to overanalyze the chapter, because it's like Oda's telling us that this chapter is about to send us further down the rabbit holes that he already knows that we're stuck in. And that's called marketing, I think. But from Rox's mouth, we get information that Davy Jones was the previous king of the world, and that triggers Emu to speak like he just got spat on, saying he was never king, not for a single moment. So it seems we have, again, 2 sides for one story, or as I like to say, 2 unreliable narrators. Like, who do you honestly even believe right here? It makes me think that there might have been another void period in time, maybe not a century, but if Davy Jones and Joy Boy were in separate times, was Davy Jones the real first pirate and Joy Boy was the second and everybody believes he was the first? Like, how many unreliable narrators are there really in this story? But the promise is brought up again. Along with what seems to be inherited will, along with the loss of will to go on from Dragon after losing Shanks. Very sad, very, very sad dad, very sad dad. Rox bringing up Davy Jones and Joy Boys back to back is super interesting to me because this is just another moment of Rox knowing too much. He knows his lineage as a member of the Davy clan, he's seen Emu in the flower room, and now we know he also knows about Joy Boy. So in that, there's a lot of information that dies with him, unless you look to his wife. When we see Eris, she's running with Teach, and when she sees Rox in that form, she says with pain in her eyes, so you lost. I'm sorry, it's our fault. You faced that thing to save us even though you weren't ready. Meaning that whatever Rox knows, she is privy to the same information. He confided in her the secrets that he knew the world couldn't handle, and she decided to challenge the world and stay by his side. I won't let the Davy clan in here. We'll survive no matter what. She is the ultimate ride or die. Now we get a nice surprise here, and that's the true saint of One Piece, not Saint Saturn, Saint Kuma, saving Blackbeard and his mom from absolute destruction. And now I want to see a Kuma and Blackbeard interaction. I know, I just want too many damn things. Here is when we find out that Emu can in fact give orders to those under the Reversey. Because Emu is just telling Rocks to drop the fucking nuke. Waste them all. No regard for the gods, knights, or anyone's. They literally say extinguish all who remain on the island. That goes directly back to last week's chapter where I said that Emu just doesn't care about anyone at all. Everyone's a liability. But as the rampage continues, Roger and Garp just whip out their gigantic junks.
Pause, nigga.
Smack them on the ground.
Stop it.
Crack the earth.
Whoa, Des. Nigga, whoa.
And they just challenge Rocks to a fight. Now, this is a real captain move, taking on the biggest opponent in order to pave the way for safety for everyone else. Gotta love it. And here's the gut punch of all gut punches. Rocks pleading for his own death. Spoilers for Gen V, but if you've watched it, then you guys have more than likely been introduced to Cypher. And Cypher's ability is mind control. He refers to absolutely everyone as a
meat perfect.
But when Cypher has control of you, that's exactly what it is. Complete control. Everything is controlled by someone else like you're a video game character. But not only that, you're a literal backseat passenger in your own body. You can see everything that's going on. You just have no recourse and you have no control. There's a scene where the MC Marie is put into a cage fight with her sex-changing significant other. That's not a joke, I promise. That literally is part of their ability. As Marie's about to go for the killing blow, Cypher releases control and they're able to talk Marie down and prove Cypher is no longer in control. This is extremely similar because Rocks is currently a backseat passenger in his own body. He can see everything he's doing and he can't stop it. He is begging for help. He's using the voice of all things to communicate to Roger and Garp to take him down because I believe this entire time he's been fighting inside himself to push out Emu, but like Eris said, he just wasn't ready. And with as strong as Rocks is, that must mean that, like he said, those devil fruits he was looking for were extremely imperative to the mission. He probably went to Elbaf because he was looking for the legendary sun fruit, even though it wasn't the legendary sun fruit, but that's what the legend said. Like how Loki believes that he is the sun god, but Luffy is. And the second one has to be the darkness fruit, because light and dark being unified is the only way to bring down Emu. And it would make a lot of sense if Teach got the encyclopedia he was always talking about from his mother before she died and he joined Whitebeard's crew. More than likely, his mother was his entire basis for morality and being a good person in general. And when she died, he just started doing his own thing. And after losing his mother and seeing everything and witnessing being there on God Valley when all of that was going down, everything with his father, it's very easy to believe that Teach acts heavily on trauma. His decisions are made out of impulse, like killing Thatch for the fruit, but the impulse comes from the fact that if Thatch ate that fruit, then he could no longer fulfill his father's dreams, so he acted. And he more than likely knows just as much as his mother because she didn't want the same thing to happen to him that did to his father. But if you look at it, then Blackbeard is actually doing the opposite of what his father wanted already. He's trying to claim multiple devil fruits for himself and uniting a band of cohorts that view him as the next king's candidate. In an adverse way to Luffy due to the whole good and evil thing, but in the same vein, Luffy is doing the same thing. I asked my friend earlier what he thought Rocks stood for, and I brought up the whole ununified aspect of the Rocks pirate, but when you think about it, maybe that's the entire thing. Rocks gathered a group of asshats from so many different places that they were essentially a walking cultural melting pot. All different homes, all different views, but that's exactly how the world should be. A unison of different cultures and views, and that's what Rocks did. Blackbeard wants all these devil fruits and all of this power for himself, but his dad even said that if Harold ate the fruit, then his true powers would be revealed. He didn't want to eat it, he wanted the wielder of the power to fight by his side. Just like how Luffy and Blackbeard will have to put their differences aside in order to bring Emu down. And I know I sound like a broken record at this point, so I'll just go ahead and cut it here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Every view is appreciated, even if it's from 1 to 100. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like the content, and I will see you guys next time with more One Piece talk. Don't forget to get some buns like Rayleigh did, and me, well, maybe me, well, bye guys.